reads video. First off, apologies for not doing one last week, but I was still reading Robinson Crusoe, so it was sort of just a repeat from the Friday reads before that. But now I've moved on to entirely all new books. I finished Robinson Crusoe. I'm on an all new audiobook, manga, everything. So let's get started. The audiobook I'm listening to currently is by Crook by Eva Gates. This is the first in a Lighthouse Library mystery series. It takes place on Bodhi Island, and that lighthouse has been turned into a library. And we follow a young woman by the name of Lucy. She has recently attained a position as a librarian at one of her favorite places that she used to visit every summer. And it is hosting a collection of very rare first editions of all of Jane Austen's work, including a notebook that she has handwritten in it. And they're having sort of a soiree to sort of celebrate the arrival of this collection, when suddenly the chair of the library board is found murdered in the library. And suspicion falls on the director of the library, who helped hire her in this position, and Lucy is trying to help clear this woman's name. In addition to the murder mystery that's taken place, it seems like someone is slowly snatching away the collection of Jane Austen. One by one, they are disappearing, no matter what they seem to do. Although I will say they are kind of lax in their security, even with regards of just locking up the books in some kind of display case. But I am enjoying this mystery series quite a lot. It's been a while since I've kind of delved into any new cozy mysteries, and this is the first of 3 that I believe are currently out. So I'll definitely be checking out and see if the rest of them are available. But probably about more than 3/4 of the way through, so really enjoying that one. The book I'm reading right now is John Baird's The Explorers Guild, also co-written with Kevin Costner. And this says Volume 1. It's very beautifully illustrated by Rick Ross. First off, this sort of embossed cover is really just wonderful. And the illustrations throughout, it's sort of a part novel, part graphic novel, part illustrated. So you get these, in terms of the beginnings of some sections, you get these sort of full color illustrations, and then you'll get like a comic book, and then you'll get areas that are just pure text, and it just has a whole sort of antique feel to it. Even the pages are kind of antique looking, like they're not pure white. They have like a kind of a brownish tint to them, an old style tint to it, but it kind of reminiscent of something by like Rudyard Kipling, like The Man Who Would Be King, this sort of grand epic story. This volume 1 is called Passage to Shambhala, and the story begins in this sort of graphic novel version here, where we're following an Arthur Ogden. He's a member of the Explorers Guild, and he has sort of a rivalry with one of his cousins, and ends up sort of accepting a challenge to find the Northwest Passage, travel through ice fields and things. He's not quite the explorer type in a way, maybe just making bold statements of claiming that he is, but now he is sort of embarked on this mission. And at the very beginning, it seems like he has discovered something, and it just says, we must work back round to Ogden and his discovery in the north by way of a young writer and his own adventures into very different quarters of the world. And then we're suddenly found in Mesopotamia. This is the young writer. His name is Colonel Buchan, and he is searching Major Jonathan, I think it is, Ogden. This is Arthur's brother. I believe it's his younger brother. And he is bringing a letter from their sister asking John to come back home because Arthur has made some sort of discovery. There's this 5-year gap, though, from the moment when we first see that he has apparently discovered something to the point where Colonel Buchan has reached him with this dispatch. And so it's like, I'm wondering what's happened in that 5-year gap. But as we're kind of the story's progressing, we see Major Ogden reading the journals of his brother and the events that kind of led up to him taking on this challenge and perhaps what he's discovered. But we haven't quite reached that. But I like the blend of the graphic novel and the text, and just sort of this epic scope to it. It's really quite intriguing. So yeah, I'm really enjoying that one. And then I thought I'd go ahead and start something. I have to kind of do a bit of a reread with my manga here. Quite some time ago I was reading Blood Lad. This is by Yuki Kodama. And there are, I think it's 6 volumes. These are, I think these are like 2-in-1s. But I had read the first 2 volumes of it quite some time ago. I was about ready to start the third, and then I didn't get to it right away, so my memories faded a little bit on some of the events, and I'm going to want to kind of skim back through these. But this guy here is a vampire. His name is Staz. He's a boss in the demon world, and he's an otaku, someone who is totally infatuated with everything Japanese and manga and anime. He has this enormous collection in the demon world. And this one young girl, does it say her name? I forget now. It doesn't say here. But this one Japanese girl she's living girl, happens to wander into the demon world, and he is totally infatuated, wanting to question her about all the things that, that her world entails, that he's so infatuated with. But then other demons they say, make short work of her and ended up taking her soul. So now he's got to try and reunite her with her soul and get her back to her world. And that may mean him actually traveling out of the demon world into the real world. So that's kind of the general premise of the story. Within it, there's his brother and also his sister makes an appearance. And like I said, I have to kind of refresh my memory on it. But I really liked the story that I had read, that I recall. And I do enjoy the artwork quite a bit too. So there's a couple color pages in there, but for the most part, typical black and white manga. I really love the covers though; they're really kind of very vibrant. So that's what I will be reading this weekend. And yeah, let me know what you guys are reading, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.